EA Sports coverage of the National Football League brings us to historic Baltimore, Maryland, and M&T Bank Stadium. Today, after a topsy-turvy opening weekend, it's on to week 2, and we've got a good one here, as it'll be the Dallas Cowboys taking on the Baltimore Ravens. The final weekend of the summer. Hope you're enjoying it wherever you are, as we are off and running on EA Sports.
Yo.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10.
Here we go. 19 Charger, 19 Charger.
They'll run. This is Phil Maffa. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. Calling no gain on the game's first play. And it's 2nd down now.
Hold it ready. Ready. 18. Go.
Here's Milton. That is caught by Lamb. And he'll be taken down across the 50 at the 45 in enemy territory. That catch for his career is number 731, and that's the number that Calvin Johnson ended with when he stopped his career in 2016.
Yeah, what could have been for him. So maybe now what we'll see is someone else continue to elevate their game and put this number well in his rearview mirror. I think 800, not out of line here.
Third, ready. Coogan, ready.
They'll run here with Maffa. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2.
Yes, the receivers have spread the defense out, and they were able to come through with a slashing run.
But to that point, it's going to be interesting to see the personnel chess match as this one progresses.
Yeah, you're exactly right. Can they continue to create running lanes out of passing sets? And if so, it's going to be a long day for the defense.
Get it. Cowboy 80.
Here's Milton now to throw. Throwing the out route incomplete. That's Reese. It'll be a pickup of 4. Good enough to earn him yet another 1st down.
And the tight end is certainly a position built to move the chains because they can control space underneath. If they've got good hands, then, of course, they're a dynamic target. But one other thing is they're right in the sight lines of a quarterback on just about every play. And that makes it easier for the quarterback to pick him out and deliver.
Milton. Oh, he was hit as he threw it there, and that one winds up incomplete.
Nice progress down the field was halted by that incompletion. They could try for some safe yards here to get things moving again, or keep throwing it and pushing it downfield to try and pick up bigger yardage.
Let's go now. 60 Eagles, 60 Eagles.
A carry now for Maffa. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. 2 yards the loss, and now 3rd and 12. We'll see what they have drawn up here. A little bit behind the line. 12 yards needed to gain a first down. To throw, it's Milton. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And they move this all the way down to the 9. That's good for a first down, his second catch of the opening drive. Here's Maffa. And this play doesn't go anywhere. Backwards, losing yardage to the 11. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down.
Brings up 2nd and goal at the Ravens' 11-yard line.
60 Bison, 60 Bison. 60 Maverick, 60 Maverick.
Throwing is Milton. Touchdown, Cowboys! A great play there. His first touchdown of the new season. And the Cowboys are on the board first on the road here in Baltimore. A long opening drive, but a very successful opening drive. We call that methodical, I guess, when it takes that many plays.
Methodical and almost like a boxing match where you're hitting them with body blows. They can withstand them here. Look, they gave up the touchdown, but you don't feel like a knockout is there. But they keep doing that in the 4th quarter. That's when the knockout occurs.
And it becomes tough for that defense if they're on the field that long. We'll see if they can continue that in future drives. The kick team out there for the Cowboys as they run up to send this one away. And they'll let that one go as it skips through the back of the end zone for a touchback.
At their own 35-yard line.
Jackson and the Ravens come up now 1st and 10 at their 35-yard line. They'll start this drive out on the ground. And they're going to stop him right at the line of scrimmage. Just no cut. Back lane to be found whatsoever. 2nd and 10. You look at this Cowboy defense. They find themselves just a couple of spots outside of the top 10 defending the pass, number 12 in the league.
And since this is such a good unit of covering passes downfield, I think that last play is typical of what we might see. A lot of short passes, see if they can generate some run after the catch, but nothing doing on that one.
And that falls to the ground, incomplete. A nice job of bodying him up defensively, and now it brings up 3rd down.
Not a great start dropping his first target, but let's face it, it won't be his last chance because he'll get opportunities to make up for that one throughout this game.
They come up to the line now facing a 3rd and 10 after the incompletion. Now it's Jackson. He's going to fire one deep over the middle. That's caught at the 25. And he takes it all the way down to the 3. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
And the offense is saying to itself right now, only they were all this easy because he was wide open. And once he made the catch, plenty of room to work his way downfield. That was a breakdown on the defensive side of the ball, one that they want to fix immediately.
Got a man, it's caught for a Ravens touchdown. A great effort there. His third touchdown now on the year. And the Ravens are able to match the opening drive touchdown against them with one of their own. Tyler Luke now for the extra point. It's up and good. So these teams match touchdowns here in the first quarter, and we're tied 7-7. Each team's had it. Each team has scored. 7-7 here as the kick's away. And the tackle going to be made right there at the 25-yard line. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. This drive here beginning probably with a pair of motivated groups. Remember, the offense scored a touchdown on their last time out. Looking to repeat that in Charles' defense. They were very frustrated after giving up 6 the last time on the field.
And frankly, it's just a battle of wills in a lot of ways because you know they're both motivated. They both game plan for this drive, and they both have specific outcomes in mind. To me, it just comes down to who can execute better and which side can step up and assert its will over the other.
Second and 6, just inside the 30. Now Milton. And that is going to be incomplete as he led him a bit too much.
Anytime he reads man coverage, I don't think it's going to be the only time he'll try and hit that route to the outside in this game. He'll test the perimeter, but that time, they were up to the challenge.
Come on, come on. Hit. Drag him 60.
To throw is Milton. That's incomplete, but there is a flag down, so hang on. A big call coming on third down. So instead of giving them another third down, they'll decline it, brings up 4.
Now that's smart football right there. You don't even have to really spend a lot of time considering it. Just know that you're probably going to get the ball back. Good job declining that penalty.
Taking it about the 16. We'll call that a punt of 54 yards. Well struck. And the Ravens, they'll take over. They go play action now. Jackson on the RPO. He'll keep it himself. Oh, a dangerous pass there, and it's intercepted. And the Cowboys are going to take over a couple of yards shy of midfield. The Dallas offense here set to begin the drive. They start near midfield following the interception as they begin 1st and 10. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there at 2nd down. Hey, look at this Baltimore defense. They're going to need to be strong against the run in this one.
Well, there wasn't anything wrong with them on that play, was there? Able to make a nice stop, held them to no gain. The key to their defense, though, is exactly what the defensive coordinator told you and I. They've got to be consistent.
Here's 2nd and 10.
Check. Ready. Ready, ready.
They run. Maffa. And across midfield he goes into Raven territory. They do get a couple, but they'll be left staring at a 3rd and 8 coming up. Well done to sniff that out defensively. He had it diagnosed pretty quickly.
I love that description because diagnosed is perfect on that one. Read his keys, made the play, and he couldn't even get going moving the football.
From the gun on 3rd down, Milton. And that is incomplete.
Coverage was awfully tight there on 3rd down. They actually closed off all the passing lanes, forcing the incompletion and bringing up 4th down.
cheers on the sideline. Here's the field goal unit now to try an exceptionally long one. And this will be called officially a 66-yard attempt. And this one looks good. It is good. Right down the pipe. And Charles, his name etched in the NFL record books. Just the second field goal ever made from 66 yards as he ties Justin Tucker's NFL record.
And everything had to go right for that field goal to be converted. The snap, the hold, the protection, all had to be perfect. No wind working against you, and he nails that one. Congratulations on an incredible kick.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And for this offense, Charles, you got to think kind of crucial here to put something together on this drive, because remember last time out they threw the interception on the very first play.
And you can't afford to let this defense keep building any more momentum. They're playing awfully well, and they're awfully confident right now. To me, it's time to attack and take some of that momentum back. But make sure you're selective in doing so. Understand where you want to throw the football and make sure it's open before the ball leaves your hands.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. And they'll give him another shot here on the ground. And this one also slow in developing as he's maybe getting back here to the line of scrimmage, but not much more than that.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
What do they have for this? 3rd and 11. Jackson from the shotgun. And the throw in going to be incomplete.
I like the calmness of how he played the ball here. No panic in his eyes as that throw arrived. Tracked it from the moment it left the quarterback's hand, and that's just where he needed to be to knock it away.
Only 2 punts for him last week in the loss as he gets this one away. And taken right at the 35. And he'll be out of bounds after getting this one across the 40. 31 yards on the punt there. And the Cowboys will take over the football with a 1st and 10. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. And they're not going to play this conservative, I don't think. They had the field goal last time, and they're up, but they're looking to put a drive in the end zone.
Oh, I agree with you totally. No one goes out on the field and says, all right, let's just...
And this is going to be intercepted. And the Ravens are going to get the football, and it is. The ball will come out to the 20. Jackson and the Ravens come up now 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line. Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. From left side, it's complete. And he'll get this one way up just shy of the 45-yard line. That one goes for 24 yards. Took just one play to move all the way to the 44 as they try again on 1st down. Going back in the backfield, he'll get the carry. And he's got this one across midfield into Cowboy territory. The Ravens had 0-1 in the year following the loss in the opener. And they were given a gift of 2 straight home games to start the campaign. Dropped one of them already. You have to figure a split of these two probably imperative.
And they did talk about that with us prior to the game, about how important it is to start.
Oh, his early struggles continue. Here's another one intercepted. And the Cowboys will take over here as they get it up to the 43-yard line. So consecutive interceptions here early on in this one, and maybe setting the tone, Charles, for a game where the defense really takes center stage.
And don't you think that both offenses are really catching a bit from their coaching staff about avoiding these turnovers that we've seen early? I think both teams are trying to find an advantage. We know that. Can one of them break away and take control of this game?
And a missed tackle there as he pushes forward for a gain of 4.
Well, that was a thing of beauty right there. Look at how quick those blockers fired off the line once the ball was snapped. That was an O-line on a mission, all in sync, and the defense is lucky that play only picked up 5 yards.
From the 48-yard line, here's second down and 5.
Cowboy 80. Ready.
Operating from the gun, Milton will swing this out to Blue. And just 1 yard here from the 49 to the 50.
That might feel like a little bit of a lost opportunity there for the offense because the defense brought pressure that time. And sometimes against that, you can get out to your running back, and it can turn into a big gain downfield. But what a nice job they did getting to him quickly and holding him to a short gain.
Cowboy 80.
From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. He's got his target. That's complete. And he will have a Cowboys first down as they're able to get the third down conversion.
So many times in my career, I've heard coaches talk about completions are one thing. But as long as we're there at the catch and we get guys on the ground, we can live with that. But if you're going to give up 10, 12, 15 yards after the catch, then your defense is going to be in a lot of trouble.
And not a whole lot of room to operate there on the first down run. He gets maybe 3.
That's just a pile of bodies there, and that's when you kind of find out who's a tough guy, right? Who can stand up and make a play. It was only a 3-yard run, but for both sides, they had to walk away from that feeling like, okay, I can stand up when the going gets tough in here.
Operating from the gun, Milton. He's got his tight end on the corner route. It's complete. His first catch, good for 16 and a first.
What a drive this has been, just chewing up the yardage, and here's one of their best plays yet as they finally get down into the red zone and look to finish this off with 6.
Okay, ready?
Working with the lead, trying to get to 2-0. Here's first and 10.
Come on, hey, smash Bronco. Ready?
On the ground, it's Maffa. And there just continues to be nowhere to run. He's bottled up again at the line of scrimmage.
Ready?
No gain on the play. It'll be second down. 2 minutes remaining in the first half. 10-7, our score. Second and 10.
Here we go. Set. 60 Bison. 60 Bison. Wyatt. Buffalo 18.
Operating from the gun, Milton. And his ball is caught by Lamb. Touchdown, Dallas. An 18-yard touchdown grab. And they are able to add on to their advantage. And in the red zone, I guess this is why you have a guy like that on your roster.
Without a doubt, and if you have him, you use him because he's a guy who's going to win just about every time. I don't care what the coverage is.
Aubrey now for the point after. It's good to make it 17-7.
Next to score, Cowboys 17, Ravens 7.
The kick team out there for the Cowboys as they run up to send this one away. Oh, a good-looking return set up here. And able to return this one all the way out to the other side of the field across the 50.
Partner, when I was in college, we used to have these things called game maxims that we did before every game. One of them said, press the kicking game, for here's where the breaks are made, is the area of hidden yardage. How about that return? Flipping the field, taking it past the 50, and getting things set up to start the series.
Jackson going to keep it. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. A nifty bit of scrambling there. 12 yards, first down.
They asked him to take charge and get them to a spot where they could at least attempt a kick before the half, and he does just that. Didn't trust what he saw downfield, so he took it upon himself to get them into field goal range using his legs. That's coming through with a play they needed in a big spot.
And down to the 20 he'll go before heading out of bounds. The catch and run, good for 18 and a first down.
At the 20-yard line.
One back in the backfield, he'll get the carry. And he is out of bounds, but first he gets it inside the 10 to the 7. Another nice gain. That's now 30 yards between those last two plays.
Would you say this offense is locked in right now?
They're having no trouble on this drive. What is it, 3 plays, 3 first downs?
Yeah, you talk about on the march. They keep this up, they'll get to that end zone real fast.
Here's Jackson. Blitz coming, and down he goes. The first down went in the wrong direction. They're at the 13-yard line. Here's 2nd and goal. Now a timeout called for by the defense, as they'll stop it with exactly a minute to go before halftime. So following the sack, they'll try to change their fortune here on 2nd and 13. Jackson. Oh, it's a screen pass. That's good play. And he's able to work it here to the 8-yard line. Big play coming here. It's 3rd and goal.
A gain of 5 yards brings up 3rd and goal.
Throwing is Jackson. He'll try and do this himself. And he'll be brought down right on the edge of the goal line at about the 1-yard line. Pretty solid gain of 7 yards that time as he scrambled, but now they face a 4th down.
That looked great when he first took off because, in my mind, there was room to run, and he had the marker in his sight. But I certainly didn't expect him to close so quickly, and neither did he. They got to him just in time, and now that forced him to make a decision with his 4th down call.
The offense is going to stay out there. We'll see what the play call is. They need to find the right one here on 4th and goal. Here's Jackson to throw. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. They can't hook up here on the 4th down pass attempt. And this Cowboy defense comes up with a goal line stand.
Ready, set.
The Dallas offense here set to begin the drive. And from here, might not be able to take a knee. Might need to run a play here that's close to their goal line. Now a timeout taken. Perhaps a chance for one more quick play and then another timeout if they hurry. We'll see.
Dragon 60. Here we go, here we go. 18 Cardinal, 18 Cardinal.
Throwing to start the drive. Milton. And he's only able to get it up to about the 2-yard line. And now a timeout defensively after that first down play. So they're going to make this offense sweat out half number 1. And you see the clock almost empty, so this is likely the last play in the second quarter.
Ready? 19 Tiger, 19 Tiger. Ready?
They'll try and run this one right up the gut. And this will go as a short gain on what will be the final act of this first half. A 10-point game, 17-7 to score as we get back to it on EA Sports. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28.
At their own 28-yard line.
The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going. And they're still very much in this game, although they do trail. What's the game plan, Charles, for the second half?
It might be a little counterintuitive because most people will think losing equals passing the ball more, but I'd establish the running game. They kind of went away from it in the first half. I think if they get back in balance, it'll help them when they put the ball back in the air.
Now a 2nd and 10.
Sit on.
To throw is Jackson. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
And those two just haven't been in sync thus far. They've done a nice job against him, but still, with his talent, you would expect them to have more completions to him in this game.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down.
Sit on.
Jackson now. And he is caught. And he will have the Ravens first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
And that's the kind of play this offense needs to maybe kick them into gear a little bit. They've been stuck in neutral much of the game. Perhaps that can give them a little bit of confidence that big plays are out there.
Off the play fake. Here's Jackson. No, and he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. So that complicates things a bit here. 18 yards to go now on 2nd down.
At the 31-yard line.
Oh. Thirteen.
Now it's Jackson. That's going to be complete on the sideline, but, that throw left him no room to run, and the good footwork nearly all for naught. So the completion good for just 3. And they're going to face an uphill battle here on 3rd and long. We'll see where they go for this play call. Obviously tough in this spot, backed up. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Able to find the open man. That's complete. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. That was no 3rd and 2. That was 3rd and 16, but they get the conversion anyway.
Well, that was a pretty good time for his first catch of the ball game, and it turned into a huge play as well. He's certainly not been a central part of this passing game so far in this one, but he made his presence felt there. A big pickup on 3rd down.
This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2.
Running lanes were at a premium in the first half, but he's able to find some room there, and he's hoping that that's a precursor of a big second half.
Second and a couple. Now Jackson. And he fires one incomplete.
They certainly thought he had an open look beyond the first down marker to his receiver, but they just couldn't connect, and that will send them back to the drawing board.
Play number 9 set to come here on the drive on 3rd and 2. And here's a handoff out of the gun. And he will have a Ravens first down. At least it appears that way. And he got it by maybe the length of the football.
3rd and 2, right? So this is a situation where a low man has got to win at the line of scrimmage. But it's not just the low man winning. It's the low man who's winning with some force. And they had that to pick up the first down.
Barely picking it up, but they did. Right back to him on first down. And he'll take this inside the 20 and down to the 18. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down.
That's a good play by the guys on the defensive side of the ball. Held them to a gain of 2. And that changes the playbook a little bit now for the guy calling plays. 2nd and 8. Now he's got to probably think about going to the air instead of maybe staying with the ground game.
Here's a 2nd and 8. Jackson. And it's caught. They'll take it into the end zone for a Ravens touchdown. An 18-yard touchdown grab. And the Ravens are back within a score.
That wasn't just toughness we just saw. That was concentration. Knew the hit was coming, yet the quarterback hung in there and delivered it downfield. The end result, 6 points for his team.
Extra point up and through. And the lead's down to a field goal at 17-14. Now after the touchdown, Luke back out to kick this one away. And just shutting him off there. And he takes this near the 25. Just a little pass there. Call it the 26. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. And maybe some renewed pressure on this unit following the touchdown a moment ago. It's back to a one-score game.
And because of that pressure, because it's now a one-score game, they know this is where you need to slow the momentum change. Because otherwise, that could overrun your team. You've got to be careful right here. I think he's got to be careful not to force anything into coverage right there. There weren't really any throwing lanes. But the best part for him, he's got second and third down to fall back on.
A good action to this point in the third quarter. Just a 3-point game. 2nd and 10. Operating from the gun. Milton. And it's a short one here. Complete to the tight end. And he takes us up to the 40-yard line before being corralled. 14 yards. Good for a Cowboy first down.
And this was a nice example of an offensive coordinator scheming his guy open. Just a little underneath route, just trying to free up some space, and it worked awfully well. Got him not just space, but plenty of room to run after the catch to pick up really nice yardage.
On first down, they'll go to the ground attack. And he'll manage to pick up about 4 at second down. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
And they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin, too.
From the 44-yard line, here's 2nd and 6. Operating from the gun. Milton drops it to Blue, complete. Well, he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. A good-looking drive for the Cowboys so far. It's a first down.
We can talk all we want about football being a game of strength and brawn. It's also a game of mismatches, and they're trying to create one there, getting it to their back out of the backfield to make a bigger play.
As we often say, get it to him in space, let him use his leg.
Yeah, if he can get a matchup against a linebacker or maybe a defensive end dropping out in a zone blitz, he's going to win that battle just about every time.
So just 3 yards on the completion there, and it'll be second down.
Oh, it's time to give a little credit there to the defense. They played that very well because it was a drag route, and he ran a little shallower than normal as he worked straight across the field. He was hoping he'd get lost behind the defensive line, but once he made the catch, nowhere to turn upfield and gain any yardage.
60 Bison, 60 Bison, go!
On second down, they'll run it here. And his rough afternoon continues. He's going nowhere again. No gain on the play, and it's going to bring up a third down.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the third quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
Back now in Baltimore. It's been a very hotly contested game to this point. Just a field goal separating these two teams as we get set for the fourth quarter.
Ready, ready.
And this offense on third down today, they've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 7.
18 Cardinal. Ready, ready.
Back to throw. Milton. That'll be complete to Blue. And he won't quite make it. He needed 6. He got about 5. 4th down.
A short game that doesn't get them the first down brings up a 4th down situation.
Really nice job defensively. They knew where the sticks were. They got the stop before it. So a big one coming here for Brandon Aubrey. This to swell the lead to 6.
A 47-yard attempt.
And his kick is absolutely perfect. And they stretch the lead to 6. It's 20-14 now. So they get the 3, but you wonder now, is that going to be enough?
Excellent question, because when I look at the smiles on that side of the field, they're a little tight, aren't they? If they had scored a touchdown there, those would be big half-moon grins right now because they feel a whole lot better about their position.
And a touchdown in the other direction, all of a sudden they're down. Now a crease here as he's past the 30. And it'll be a terrific return here as he gets it down all the way inside the 30.
And when you're facing a deficit on the scoreboard, you're just looking for something to get you right back into the game, and that's the spark that they were looking for. They got it with that big return.
They go play action with Jackson. But he almost had his second pick of the game. Probably should have. Yeah, he's frustrated as it falls incomplete.
Some coaches like to take the shorter, more reliable yardage, and some, they like to go for the big shot. No fear in risking a deep ball there, but it wasn't enough to get them to completion.
On second down, they'll run it here. Heck of a broken tackle and able to work this down near the 23. They get 6. That'll leave them with 3rd and 4.
Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a gain, considering the blitz that they just had against them.
Looking to throw. Jackson. It's right set at the screen. It's complete. And this won't be enough. Stopped a yard short after a gain of 3. 4th down.
Good reactions there defensively. That screen was a little slow in developing, and they shut that one down with little gain.
One score down. Here we go. They're going to go for it here on 4th down. Here we go. It's Jackson on 4th down. And for right side here, complete. They will be out of bounds, taking it just shy of the 10 at the 11 or the 12. And the drive stays in motion with a nice 8-yard pickup on 4th. Now this offense hoping to avoid the 0-2 start. Well, they trail, but they've got a 1st and 10 here. One back in the backfield, he'll get the carry. They'll get this down inside the 10 for a pickup of about 3. And hold on here, because on that last run, it looks like we have a player who was shaken up. Well, now they're going to come out and take a look at this injury, and we'll be back in a moment. It's 2nd and 7 from the 9. Back to throw. Jackson. And he's got his man on the out route. And just shy of the goal line as he's out of bounds right at the 1.
First and goal at the 1-yard line.
They come up on a first and goal and most likely 4-down territory as they need a touchdown and a PAT for the lead. And he's swallowed up right near the line of scrimmage. No gain there as he kept it himself at second down.
I think the effort was there, but sometimes the defense is just a little bit better. No gain on the quarterback sneak, no place to go.
Another shot from the 1 on second and goal. This time Jackson will throw it. And this is caught. Touchdown, Baltimore. A great play there. With 2 touchdowns on the season, both in this game. And the Ravens are an extra point away from going back on top here in the 4th. And, Charles, they continue to have trouble stopping him as he's into the end zone yet again.
Yeah, it's multiple series now that have ended with him in the end zone. A perfect plan on how to utilize him best when they get in close.
A very important extra point there, up and good. And they have taken the lead here in this 4th quarter. And now we're going to get a stoppage. A member of the Cowboys shaken up. Now after the touchdown, Luke back out to kick this one away. And that one not returnable. It's over the back line to the end zone, so that's going to be spotted up at the 30-yard line. The Dallas offense here set to begin the drive. We certainly have a good one on our hands. They're trailing after that last touchdown, but now a chance for this offense to try to snag that lead right back here in the 4th quarter. They'll start on the ground here on first down. And this defense not giving him anything there. Maybe a yard after the 36.
Well, sometimes you just have to give credit to the defense. Great job there at the point of attack, holding up. They won their battles at the line of scrimmage, left in no space to try and run. A really nice job swarming to the ball carrier.
Ball on the 36 now. Here's a 2nd and 9. Here's Milton now to throw. And it's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And he'll be out of bounds just shy of the 40. 22 yards on the catch and run, a first down.
First and 10 at the 42-yard line.
Hands it off out of the gun. And he stopped immediately there. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
That's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
So after the loss of a yard, they'll look to push forward here on 2nd down and 11.
Let's go. Panthers 60. Panthers go.
To throw, it's Milton. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. 2 yards on the pickup there. And that's going to set up a tough 3rd and 9.
And there's a completion to the tight end. And look at the size of these players nowadays. In that spot, 6'4", 6'5", and up. A lot of guys used to be basketball players, somehow came back to football. That's really good for the game of football. You're getting better athleticism, great hand-eye coordination, guys who know how to control their bodies when they run their routes.
Well, this feels like a late season game, even though it's just week 2. Here's a big third down.
Nothing 19. Cut 19. Cut 19.
Milton. He's going to lead this for his running back. It's complete. And he's going to be taken down with the first down at the Ravens' 31-yard line. Fourth quarter, 2 minutes on the clock in a tight one-point game. Plenty of time. All 3 timeouts still remain. Here's 1st and 10 now.
Come on, come on. Hey. W Lions. Go check. Go check.
One back in the backfield, he'll get the carry. A short gain here, maybe a yard to the 29.
Certainly a nice job there by the defense rallying to the football and getting him on the ground, but I think the play gets made by the defensive front because if they can't get upfield, their job is to go ahead and get low, almost get into a ball sometimes, stack things up, and make it difficult for the runner to find a hole.
Second down, 8 yards to go.
Here we go, here we go.
Back to throw. He finds his man complete. That's Sharp. And he's brought down at the 24 after a gain of 4. Now the Ravens going to use one of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. A big play here. Crowd on their feet. 3rd and 4. They'll look to throw. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And he's going to be taken down with the first down at the Ravens' 12-yard line.
And here we are in the 4th quarter, partner, to watch them drive for what would be a go-ahead touchdown. And you and I both know this is where you need a quarterback who can keep his cool back there. Not just for himself, but to keep the rest of the team relaxed, too.
18 Cardinal, 18 Cardinal.
On first down, they'll go to the ground attack. And he's going to be brought down just shy of the 5 at the 6.
I'm a little surprised right here. They've got 3 timeouts left. The clock's running down, and they aren't using them. Those timeouts do you no good at home. Use them now.
The Ravens going to use the second of their timeouts. That'll leave them with just 1 remaining in this 4th quarter of play. So the field goal unit is on the field as this is a big spot right here. This to almost certainly win the football game. And this one is right through. And it's celebration time on that sideline as they have taken the lead in the final seconds. And I tell you, when it comes to needing a field goal in closing seconds, pressure situation, there's something to be said for having a veteran kicker trot out there.
Agreed. It's so nice to have someone you can rely on, someone who you know has done it before. And this guy's as cool as they come, isn't he?
First and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
Here's 1st and 10. Jackson to throw. With the left side, and it's complete. And now they get the timeout call. So they got one of the big plays that they needed. Can they do it again? Don't change that dial. And now this game's going to come down to the right leg of their kicker. And we will get a timeout with 2 ticks left. So on is their kicker, and it's down to this. This from long, very long range. Does he have the distance? He does. It's good. My goodness, he hits it from the parking lot as time expires. And joy will reign in the inner harbor as
damn, I miss you, Chester. Sending love from a bass compressor. Ground control with a soul like Bowie, and I'll chop you up if I'm under pressure. I don't really want to brag. I'm just telling that I'm leaving with a bag. High five to the scarred and the strange. From the outlaw that'll never get tamed. Biscuit beats from the pirate band. Sign this deal with a lobster hand. Freestyle like a bowling pin. Flex